up, America? Rental homes in the United States now.
You should watch his entire video. It's a great video, and he brings up a solid point. It's one that if you have followed me for any length of time at all, my followers have been around for a while, you already know what I'm going to say about this, right? The markets don't support these numbers. This is years of landlording and owning real estate myself. Okay, this is a lot of experience explaining. The markets do not support these numbers. The market should have come down on the. So he gave an example of a house that was for rent for $1,550. Let's say the market should have come down to $1,100, right? And then they would have found a tenant for $1,100, a good, reliable, reasonable tenant for $1,100 that could comfortably make that rent payment. Comfortably make a rent payment means they can also save money, by the way. Okay. Remember, if you're going to be in the so-called rental business, which most of you are not, you're just in the rent seeker business. You're not actually in the rental business. The rental business means providing a better product at a better price to the consumer. That's what that means. And if you're just raising prices, okay, well then you're not really competing in the marketplace, are you? Yeah. So these companies that do this kind of stuff, they're raising all this to try and keep the illusion of rental comps being high. Right, and I'm sure that this content creator knows this, but I'm just pointing out for everybody else that that's why they do this kind of stuff. They keep showing these large. They'd rather have it sit empty, with a price tag on it that is completely unrealistic and is so far beyond the market that way it doesn't come down. Because if it rents for $1,100 or $1,000, or realistically, probably many of these houses should be renting in the hundreds, right, like $800-900 a month, because that's really all they're worth. Well, if that happens, then real estate appraisers, have to factor in rental comparable values when they're factoring in the loan valuations of houses. So follow that. If you guys understand this, if you're with me so far and you understand how this works, by the way, find a real estate appraiser that's honest. Good luck with that. But find a good, honest real estate appraiser, and they're going to tell you the exact same thing. They're going to say, yeah, if we have, look, if house prices, if the rent comps start coming down, that means that the house prices in that area start coming down as well. Well, what happens to all the banks' balance sheets who just lent out a bunch of money to buy some $400,000 322 shitbox? Yeah, see, that's the problem. If they lent out $400,000 and now the house comes back and let's say it's had a 25% depreciation to down to $300,000, and more realistically, again, I mean, my position is real estate should correct by about 60 to 80%, 60 to 80%. I didn't stutter, and I didn't mean 6 or 8%. Okay, and no, I'm saying 60 to 80% is what real estate in general should be correcting at. Not in all areas. Don't start going ferociously typing a bunch of shit in my comment section with your thumbs about what buying. Stop. Most areas, particularly rural areas, there should be a pretty big correction going on. So, and in parts of cities that nobody really wants to live, those should be correcting pretty hard. Okay, you call it a crash, I call it a correction. It's because it was overbought. You were too far outside the market. The market is just people, and if incomes don't support that, then you are outside of the market. I have told landlords this repeatedly for my infamous landlords video last year, where I told all you guys that got millions of views. I told all you guys, you should probably be getting out of this. You should be probably fire sailing all these properties before this happens, because this is coming. And eventually, a lot of you guys are going to run the risk of putting a house on the market for what you think should sell for $2,000 a month, and it's going to sit, and it's going to sit, and it's going to sit. And how long can you do that? Giant mega corporations who buy these houses, they don't care. They can print money from nothing. They just go and lobby and give some money to their, whatever crooked politician, and they get a little more money funneled in there, and they just refinance some debt and move a few things around. Yeah, most of you rent-seeking slumlords can't do that. Rent-seeking slumlords, how many houses can you eat $20,000 a year on? Right, where you just let them sit there empty. And lot rot is terrible. An empty house is actually terrible. It costs you a bunch of money. So yeah, like this is coming, and so just keep in mind when you see these algorithms that are pushing this kind of stuff up, they're doing this for these big companies because they have to maintain the illusion that this stuff would in fact rent for this, and just squeeze everybody out. That's the idea, is just keep buying, keep acquiring. I mean, just think about the movie It's a Wonderful Life. where Bailey is trying to explain to this crowd of people. He's like, Potter isn't selling, Potter is buying. That's really important that you understand that. This is that old man Potter represents this exact problem, right? They aren't selling, they're buying, and they keep buying, and they're going to keep pumping the prices up because they can't have any of this stuff correct because of the math. And for those of you that don't follow me on Former Bird site, I explained this in a really simple tweet. If you have 100, right, and you earn 20% on your 100, how much do you have? You have 120. If you lose 20% on your 120, how much do you have? 96. That's a problem. That's a big problem, in fact, because that's how percentages work. Okay? So, and then it takes roughly 25% increase to get back to 120 from 96. Make sense? Yeah, see, that's the problem with this kind of stuff. So, yeah, this is just how to think of this. And trust me, the banks understand this stuff. Bankers, accountants, and all these people that do all this, dude, they understand all of this. They know full well what they've gotten themselves into, and they know that they have to just continue charging forward, double down, triple down, double down, split fives on a dealer 10 showing. I mean, like, they're going to do everything they can because, like, for them, this is it. If the market actually does correct them, the market is just people. If the people, in fact, do correct them, then all of this stuff comes crashing down. And it takes the boomers with them. It takes all these ridiculous portfolios. It takes all these fake billionaires go down with them. All of it. The whole thing goes down. Which would be awesome. I'd love to see it happen. It's long overdue. And the longer this goes, the worse this is going to get. The more laws you're going to get. The more crazy bullshit you're going to see. The longer this continues, the worse this is going to be when it does finally actually correct. Watch this video. It's awesome.